So, a few days ago I had a completely normal thought. You know, the kind of thought every sane programmer has. What if I build a game from scratch in C language? Now for those who don't know, C is basically the language where computers say, fuck your code errors, find them yourself. So naturally, I thought this was a fantastic idea. And that was my first mistake. The plan was simple. Create a Geometry Dash clone. Player jumps, spikes kill you, blocks appear, background moves, everything smooth. Easy, right? No, the first challenge was setting up Raylib. Now if you don't know what Raylib is, it's a library that helps you make games. But apparently, it also helps you lose your mental stability. I spent an embarrassing amount of time just trying to compile the program. I wrote the command, hit enter, and immediately got this beautiful message. Raylib.h, no such file or directory. Amazing, fantastic, wonderful. The game hadn't even started, and I was already fighting the compiler. So after questioning all my life decisions, I finally got the window to open, and I thought now the hard part is over. Wrong, next step, background. Now you'd think adding a background image is easy. Load image, display image, and done. Apparently not. The image was loading, but it wasn't showing. Then it showed, but it was gigantic. Then it showed half. Then the aspect ratio looked like someone stepped on it. So naturally I spent another hour fighting PNG files. Anyway, eventually we had a working background. Now I needed a player, and honestly, this was the moment I felt powerful. I added the player sprite, placed it on the screen, and for the first time, this thing actually looked like a game, until I added jumping. Now theoretically, jumping is simple. Press space, player goes up. Gravity brings him down. Simple physics. But apparently, my game had other plans. I pressed space, the player jumped, went halfway into the air, and just stopped, like completely frozen. Not falling, not moving, just staring at me. And somehow, pressing space again made him come back down. At this point, I genuinely believed the cube had developed consciousness. So after spending way too much time debugging, I fixed it and finally player jumps falls. Everything works. And then I added spikes. Now spikes should kill the player. Simple collision detection. It wasn't simple. Apparently my collision box was bigger than the actual spike. So I would jump over the spike perfectly and still die. I kept reducing the hitbox. Testing, dying, reducing again, testing, dying again, until it actually worked. At this point I was feeling confident, which was dangerous because then I decided, let's add blocks, and this was ready to fuck me mentally. The idea was simple, player jumps onto the block. Player stands on block. That's it, except the player absolutely refused to stand on the block. Every single time he would just phase through it, like the block didn't even exist. So I changed the collision gravity, hitboxes, changed jump force, still broken. At one point, I rewrote half the code, still broken. The block was winning and I was losing badly. Eventually, after fucking around whole code base, it finally worked. The player could jump land on blocks, rotate in the air, stop rotating on landing. Exactly how Geometry Dash works. Then I added moving spikes, multiple obstacles, parallax scrolling background, game over screen, restart system, and suddenly, this random project that started as a terrible idea actually became a game, and honestly, I learned something very important. Game development looks easy until you actually try it, because from the outside, people think, oh, just make the character jump. No, you fool. You are an absolute innocent fool. Nothing is simple. Every feature breaks 5 other features, and somehow, a single line of code can ruin your entire day. But that's what makes programming fun. It's basically solving hundreds of tiny problems, until eventually, something cool happens. So yeah, I built Geometry Dash in C. I lost a little bit of sanity. I fought collision boxes. I fought the compiler. I fought PNG files. I fought gravity itself. But in the end, it works. Mostly, probably, hopefully. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching me slowly lose my mind building this game, hit subscribe. And tell me what game I should painfully build next. Because apparently I enjoy suffering. See you in the next one.